I came to St. Joe's a long time ago, 1976. Lorene wasn't here yet, and I don't remember exactly when she came, but she was in the counseling center and then its director. And I don't even remember specifically how I got to know her, although there's a lot of people on campus that work with students that you do get to know if you are caring about students. And one of the ways I got more acquainted with her was in the 90s, I think. A small group of people, and I wasn't in the original group, but I became part of it shortly after, read a letter in the student newspaper from a gay student about, his name was not included, about how terrible it was to be a student at St. Joseph's and gay. And several people, Lorene was one, who knew each other, got together and said, we got to do something about this. This is just wrong. So they started this, it was kind of a secret group because the kids were so afraid to be known as gay that if you said we're going to have a meeting, you all come, they'd be terrified. So anyway, that was the beginning of something called the Alliance, which still exists on campus and which at one point I was the chair of. So Lorene and I got to know each other through that, and then in many other ways we just were good friends. I met Jim because, as I said to Tom here, one 4th of July, quite a while ago, I don't remember exactly when, I used to swim laps in the pool on campus, and I was swimming laps on I guess it must have been the 4th of July, that Lorene was swimming also, and so we chatted, and what are you doing for the 4th? And I didn't have any plans. Well, why don't you come? We're having a cookout. Why don't you come? So I did. That's when I met Jim at their house in Swarthmore. And that was kind of it. Like, you meet them, you click with them, and you're part of their circle forever after, unless you don't want to be or something. So it's been a long friendship. We don't see each other that often. But I've been invited a number of times and gone to they have this wonderful place in Spruce Creek, which is near Penn State. It's a place where Jimmy Carter used to go trout fishing, I think they said. There's this river. So anyway, I mean, that's the kind of social relationship it is. I was saying to John that I'm spending election night at their house. I've only done that once before, and that was 2000, Bush v. Gore. So I don't know what that predicts for this, but the Bush v. Gore thing was at about, I don't know, 2 in the morning when they called a state that seemed to decide it for Bush. Lorene had already gone to bed. I went to bed. Jim stayed up. I got up in the morning. Lorene's making coffee. I said, oh, Lorene, George Bush. She said, it's not over. I said, what? And then Jim got up later and got the same message. It's not over. So if I had had to stay till the election was called, I would have had to live there. So I think that's maybe an omen, but I hope it's a good one about this election. So what else can I tell you? We have lots of common interests. Jim and I are more interested in politics than Lorene is. She might be the wiser of us. But Jim has been very out there in the world doing all kinds of good things, some of which I don't know about. But I do remember when he was the first chair of the School Reform Commission in Philadelphia. And by all accounts that I know of, he did a wonderful job. But I thought, yeah, he is the perfect person for this, because he really, he's an independent person. Even though he's in the business of, well, the Swarthmore Group, I guess, is I don't know how to describe it because I don't know much about finance, but he's in that general field. But that's the kind of thing he would very happily do, give up his time and for something that he really believes in. And I don't know whether, I don't remember when Tom Ridge was governor. Tom Ridge is somebody that Jim knows pretty well. I don't know whether that was connected with this, but that I remember. I also always remember all the things I've learned from Jim about what it's like to grow up as a black male in the South, but also in general. It's interesting to me that they are so different personality-wise, Lorene and Jim. They're utterly devoted to each other. Lorene is more introverted. She's a very good counselor, psychologist. She's retired from that now, and she does, you may know this, she's been a docent at the zoo and a docent at the Barnes, and I think she still officially is both of those things, but right now the zoo is not, she's not doing the active part of that. But, you know, so she has her own way of contributing to the community, it's characteristically very quiet, very present, and you know, Jim is more noticeable. He's more extroverted. I don't know whether he'd call himself an extrovert or not. Whatever rewards you two are getting at this ceremony, you more than deserve it.